A single moment of defiance turned systemic rot into unstoppable reform. The desert stretched endlessly before Amara Jackson, a ribbon of asphalt cutting through the sun-bleached sand under a sky bruised purple by the fading dusk. Her silver SUV hummed steadily at 70 miles per hour, the legal limit on this lonely Nevada highway. At 38, Amara had seen her share of long nights, but tonight felt different. She was returning from a high-stakes briefing in Las Vegas, her first as the newly minted deputy director of the FBI's Western Division. The promotion had come with a weight she carried proudly, years of grit, late nights, and breaking ceilings no one thought she could touch. Her badge rested in the leather wallet on the passenger seat, a symbol of everything she'd fought for. The horizon glowed faintly with the distant lights of civilization when a sudden flash of red and blue erupted in her rearview mirror. Amara's brow furrowed. She glanced at the speedometer, 70, steady as ever. No weaving, no infractions. Her hands tightened on the wheel, a reflex honed from years of navigating unpredictable situations. She signaled right, easing the SUV onto the gravel shoulder, the crunch of tires loud in the stillness. She kept her breathing even, her mind already running through the protocol she knew like scripture. This was routine. Or it should have been. The patrol car idled behind her, its headlights casting long shadows across the desert floor. Amara adjusted her mirror, catching the silhouette of the officer as he stepped out. He was broad-shouldered, his movements deliberate, almost theatrical. His flashlight swung lazily in his hand, cutting through the twilight as he approached her window. She lowered it with a soft whir, keeping her hands visible, 10 and 2 on the wheel, just as she'd advised countless trainees. "Good evening, officer," she said, her voice smooth, professional, edged with the authority she'd earned. The man didn't respond right away. He tilted his head, the flashlight beam slicing across her face, lingering too long. His uniform was crisp, but his posture screamed arrogance, shoulders squared, chin tilted up. "License and registration," he barked, no warmth, no explanation. Amara's instincts prickled. No, why, for the stop, no courtesy. She kept her tone even. "May I ask the reason for this stop, sir?" His jaw twitched, a faint smirk tugging at his lips. "License. Registration." The words were clipped, a challenge. She nodded once, slow and deliberate. "I'm reaching for my wallet on the passenger seat." Her movements were measured, telegraphing every intention. She retrieved the leather wallet, flipping it open to reveal her FBI credentials alongside her driver's license. She held it out, the gold badge catching the light. The officer's eyes flicked to it, then back to her. His smirk widened into something uglier. "FBI, huh?" He snorted, a sound that grated against the quiet night. "Nice try, sweetheart." Amara's pulse kicked up, but her face remained stone. "Deputy Director Amara Jackson," she said, voice steady. "You can verify my ID if you'd like." He didn't take the wallet. Instead, he leaned closer, the flashlight now blinding her. "Step out of the vehicle." The command hit like a brick. Amara blinked, her mind racing. "Excuse me?" "You heard me." His hand shifted, hovering near his holster, fingers twitching. "Out. Now." The air thickened, pressing against her chest. She knew this dance, had studied it, trained for it, fought against it in courtrooms and briefing rooms. But knowing didn't dull the sting. "On what grounds, officer?" she pressed, her tone sharp but controlled. He straightened, towering over the open window. "I don't answer to you." His voice was low, laced with something dark. "Out, or I'll make you." Amara's mind split into parallel tracks, compliance or defiance, safety or principle. She'd spent her career de-escalating, but this wasn't de-escalation territory. This was a power play, raw and unfiltered. Her eyes flicked to his nameplate, Officer T. Grayson. She filed it away, a mental note etched in steel. "I'm stepping out," she said, raising her hand slightly to signal compliance. She opened the door slowly, her boots hitting the gravel with a soft crunch. The desert air was cool, but the tension burned hot. Grayson stepped back, just enough to give her space, but his stance screamed control, legs planted, hands still near his gun. "Turn around," he ordered. She didn't move. "You haven't articulated a reason for this stop or my detention." His smirk vanished, replaced by a scowl. "Suspicious behavior." "What behavior?" she countered, her voice ablade. He stepped closer, too close, his breath sour with coffee and contempt. "You don't get to question me, lady." His hand shot out, grabbing her arm, hard. Amara's training kicked in, she twisted just enough to loosen his grip without escalating, her eyes locked on his. "Remove your hand," she said, each word deliberate, a warning. Grayson's grip tightened, and then he laughed, a low, mocking sound that sent a chill down her spine. "FBI badge don't mean shit out here." His free hand dropped to his holster, unsnapping it with a flick. The gun came up fast, barrel inches from her chest. Time slowed. Amara's breath caught, not from fear but from the sheer audacity. She'd faced armed suspects, negotiated with killers, but this was a betrayal of the system she'd sworn to uphold. Her hands stayed up, palms open, but her mind was a storm of strategy. She could disarm him, but the optics would bury her. She could comply, but submission wasn't in her blood. "You think you're untouchable?" Grayson sneered, the gun steady. "Not tonight." The desert was silent, the highway empty, until it wasn't. Headlights flared in the distance, growing brighter, closer. Grayson didn't notice, too drunk on his own power. Amara's eyes flicked past him, calculating. Someone was coming. Someone would see. And then the gun shifted, the barrel tilting up toward her face. "Say something smart again," he dared her. She met his gaze, unflinching. "You're about to regret this, Officer Grayson." His laugh was cut short by the screech of tires. A pickup truck skidded to a stop 50 yards away, dust billowing in the headlights. A figure leapt out, phone raised, voice booming across the sand. "I've got this on camera, asshole. Back off." Grayson froze, the gun still in his hand but his confidence cracking. Amara didn't move, didn't blink. 2 minutes, she thought. 2 minutes until this flipped. The man with the phone was a blur at first, his silhouette framed by the truck's headlights. His voice carried over the wind, sharp and fearless. "I said back off. I'm live streaming this, everyone's gonna see what you're doing." Grayson's gun wavered, just for a heartbeat, but he didn't lower it. His head snapped toward the newcomer, eyes narrowing. "Mind your damn business," he snarled, but the edge in his voice had dulled, replaced by something unsteady. Amara seized the moment. "You're on camera, officer," she said, her tone ice-cold. "Lower your weapon. Now." The man stepped closer, his phone steady, the red recording light a beacon in the dark. He was young, mid-20s, maybe, wearing a faded denim jacket and boots caked with desert dust. His glasses glinted as he angled the camera, capturing every angle. "I've got your badge number, your face, everything. This is going viral unless you stop." Grayson's jaw clenched, his gun still aimed at Amara. "You don't know who you're messing with, kid." "Neither do you," Amara cut in, her voice a whip. "I'm Deputy Director Amara Jackson, FBI. You've assaulted a federal officer on video. Think about your next move." The words hung heavy, sinking into the silence. Grayson's smirk was gone, replaced by a flicker of doubt. The gun dipped an inch, then another. The man with the phone, Amara caught his name stitched on his jacket, Eli, kept filming, his stance unwavering. "You're bluffing," Grayson muttered, but his grip on the gun loosened. Call it in, Amara said. Verify my ID. Or keep digging your hole. Headlights flared again, this time from the opposite direction. A second patrol car rolled up, lights flashing, gravel crunching under its tires. Grayson's backup, Amara assumed, her stomach tightening. But the officer who stepped out wasn't what she expected. A woman, mid-40s, with a no-nonsense stride and a badge that read Sergeant Lopez. She took one look at the scene, Grayson with his gun out, Amara standing tall, Eli filming, and her face hardened. Grayson, what the hell is this? Lopez barked, her hand resting on her own holster. She's resisting, Grayson said, jerking his chin at Amara. Suspicious behavior. Lopez's eyes flicked to Amara, then to the wallet still clutched in her hand. Credentials, she said, holding out her hand. Amara passed them over, keeping her movements slow. Lopez studied the badge, her expression shifting from suspicion to recognition. Deputy Director Jackson, Lopez said, her voice steady. She turned to Grayson. Lower your weapon. Now. Grayson hesitated, his pride warring with the reality crashing down. She. Now. Lopez snapped. The gun dropped to his side, then holstered with a reluctant shove. Lopez handed the wallet back to Amara. Ma'am, are you all right? I'm fine, Amara said, her gaze locked on Grayson. But he's not. Eli stepped forward, still filming. I've got it all, him pulling the gun, laughing at her badge, everything. This isn't ending here. Lopez's jaw tightened. Grayson, cuffs. You're done. What? Grayson's face twisted in disbelief. You're taking her side? You drew on a federal officer, Lopez said, pulling her own cuffs from her belt. And you're on video. Turn around. 2 minutes had passed since Eli's truck screeched to a stop. 2 minutes, and Grayson's world flipped. The cuffs clicked around his wrists, his protests swallowed by the desert wind. Amara stood tall, her badge gleaming in the patrol car's lights, a testament to the fight she'd never stop waging. Back at the station, the air buzzed with tension. Grayson sat in a holding cell, his uniform stripped, his bravado reduced to sullen silence. Amara stood in the bullpen, recounting the incident to Lopez and a cluster of wide-eyed officers. Eli had followed in his truck, uploading the video to a local activist group's page. By midnight, it had thousands of views, comments flooding in, outrage, support, calls for justice. Lopez leaned against the desk, arms crossed. He's got a history, complaints, excessive force. Nothing stuck, till now. You just gave us the nail for his coffin. Amara nodded, her mind already shifting to the bigger picture. It's not just him. It's the system that let him keep that badge. Eli hovered nearby, his phone now tucked away. I saw the lights from a mile off, he said. Knew something was wrong. My sister, she went through something like this. Didn't end well. I couldn't just drive by. Amara met his gaze, seeing the fire behind his glasses. You changed the outcome tonight. Thank you. He shrugged, a shy smile breaking through. Just did what was right. The next morning, the story broke nationally. FBI Deputy Director targeted by rogue cop, video evidence sparks outrage. Grayson's face was plastered across screens, his career unraveling in real time. Amara declined interviews, letting the footage speak for itself. She returned to her office in Reno, the badge on her desk a quiet reminder of the stakes she carried. But the fight wasn't over. She spent the day drafting a memo to the director, proposing a task force, federal oversight for local law enforcement, mandatory body cams, accountability measures. This wasn't just her story, it was a spark for change. By evening, her phone buzzed with a text from Eli, videos at 1 million views. People are listening. She smiled, a rare softness breaking through her steel. The road ahead was long, but she'd never walked it alone. Weeks later, Grayson's trial was a media circus. The video, Amara's testimony, and Lopez's corroboration painted a damning picture. He was convicted, assault, abuse of power, federal charges stacking high. Sentenced to 10 years, his badge revoked, his name a cautionary tale. Amara stood before a press conference, her voice steady as she announced the task force's launch. This isn't about one officer or one night. It's about trust, rebuilding it, earning it, enforcing it. We start today. Behind her, Eli watched from the crowd, now a volunteer with the task force. Lopez, promoted to captain, stood at her side. The desert highway faded into memory, replaced by a movement that rippled outward, laws changed, policies rewritten, voices amplified. Amara drove that same road months later, the night clear and quiet. No flashing lights, no threats. Just the hum of her engine and the weight of a badge that meant more than ever. She'd faced the gun, the laugh, the cuffs, and turned them into a legacy. 2 minutes had sparked a revolution, and she'd never stop running toward the next one.